Hi everyone. I want to say first of all how much I'm still really missing everyone, and I wanted to let you know that I definitely am not the most tech savvy person. So I too apologize if this isn't the smoothest process for everyone to listen to me fumble through as I do the stories. But again, like I did the speech session last time, I always start our groups with my agenda. And so today's agenda is we're going to review the summary of the story from last week. Second, we're going to pre-read the questions. Third, we're going to picture walk through the book that we did last time, and we're going to try and recall specific details. And then four, we're going to answer the questions, go back to the story to prove our answers. Okay, so our summary is last week for Fletcher. It says, who was the main character of the story? And we said Fletcher was the main character. And what did the character want? We said Fletcher was warning his friends that something bad was happening. He thought that something bad was happening. And what was the problem that got in their way, his way? His friends also wanted to warn other friends because they were a good group of people that really supported each other, which is awesome. And what did the character do to solve the problem? They all played together one more time before they went back, after the snow came. But they found out that the problem was solved because they realized it actually wasn't snow at all. It was the blossoms on the tree for springtime. And so we did do our summary from last week. And now we're going to pre-read our questions that we're going to be focusing on today. So it says, Fletcher really enjoyed something about the butterflies. He really enjoyed following butterflies. He really enjoyed chasing butterflies, or he really enjoyed sniffing butterflies. So we're going to see in the story, we can actually prove what it was. In the something, Fletcher saw a lot of snowy flakes. Was it the orchard, the den, or the burrow? Fletcher something up the hill to share the news. Snow was on the way. Fletcher tumbled up. That doesn't usually you tumble down something. So in my mind, I'm kind of already eliminating that one. Fletcher snuggled up the hill. I don't know that makes sense either. Fletcher trotted up the hill. So in my mind, I'm thinking that's probably the answer, but we're going to go back and we're going to prove it. When cold times come, the squirrels eat their winter jar. That sounds silly. They eat their winter store. I do remember hearing that in the story. Or they eat their winter box of nuts. So we're going to go back and we'll prove that as well. Rabbits love bouncing, fresh spring grass. Rabbits love munching, fresh green grass. Rabbits love chirping, fresh green grass. In my mind, I've heard, and it sounds weird, that they would bounce or chirp grass. So I'm leaning towards munching, and we're going to see if we can prove that. The trees looked very beautiful, covered in snow white petals. That to me sounds like it might make sense. Snow white snowflakes. And we thought, well, Fletcher thought they were snowflakes, but if you remember, they actually, I'm pretty sure, were petals or snow white nuts. And that doesn't seem to make sense to me either. So we can start to eliminate some of those answers already. So we have already done 2 jobs, which is really exciting. We've pre-read our questions, and next we are going to do our picture walk so we can start to recall some of the details from the story. Now, we want to kind of take a look and just remember what the story was. It was called Fletcher and the Springtime Blossoms by Julia Rawlinson and illustrations by Tiffany Beek. So to start, here's Fletcher, and he's going in the woods, and he could hear the chirping and bustling sing-songy sounds in springtime. And he was chasing the butterflies, which is going to be one of our answers, I see. If you can find it right there, he's chasing some butterflies. And his head is spinning with the sights and sounds of spring. and he tumbles happily down the hill. And I remember that was one of the questions, so we're going to get to use that too, into the sunny orchard. And that was one of the questions. So already we, by pre-reading the questions, we're already able to have those answers kind of jump out at us. A soft breeze danced. So here he is. He's noticing all what he thinks are snowflakes in the orchard. And he says there's no time to lose. So he runs and he goes to tell his friends, the birds, and they're cuckooing. I think that was one of the words from last time. And he's telling them you have to go back south because snow's coming and he doesn't want them to get hurt. But they say, oh wait, we have to go tell Porcupine. And Porcupine was stretching and getting ready to wake up officially. And everybody tells him, nope, you need to go back to bed because snow is coming. But then Porcupine says, well, we have to warn Squirrel. And squirrels, so they go and they want to warn the squirrel. And he said, you better, let me just scan right here. The squirrel says, all of my stores are gone. And so he was eating up all of his nuts. And they call them stores of nuts. But Squirrel says, we have to go off and warn the bunnies. So they go and tell the bunnies about heading back and warning them that snow is coming. And here it just pops out at my head, to my eyes, that they're munching more grass. And so they're rolling down the hill and they say, well, let's just go play one more time. So they all go off together. They go together to have one more time of fun before the snow really comes. But then, of course, we know that they realize this is not snow at all. That is such a beautiful picture. It's actually petals from the blossoms on the trees, have the petals, and it's covering the ground. And it looks like snow. And they said to Fox how silly he is that he thought it was snow. But that's okay. They're friends. They're just joking, and they cover him with the petals. And then each of them bring a little bit of those petal blossoms back to where they stay. And there is Fletcher just enjoying the moment in the field, in the orchard. So we did our little picture walk again. We can cross off another job. And our last job is to answer questions, to go back to the story and prove our answers. And we kind of did that, but let's really be sure that it's answering each question. So here we go. We have over here, it says, Fletcher really enjoyed something butterflies, doing something to butterflies. So we're going to go back, and you always scan for a key word. And my key word that I'm looking for, we already know Fletcher, so we already know the who, but we're looking for butterflies. So here I see the word butterflies pops out at me. And right before the word butterflies, it says chasing. So here's butterflies, and here's the word chasing. You can kind of scan, right? It might be hard for you guys to see, but the idea of it. So he enjoys chasing. We're going to circle that, and we can cross these off and say, nope, we know that it's not following or sniffing. And then it says, in the something, Fletcher saw a lot of snowy flakes. And we're going to see, where did he see lots of snowy flakes? It says right here that he went down to the orchard. So we're going to go back, and we're going to say, no, it's not the den, and it's not the burrow. It is the orchard. And we can write that right in there. So it just flows right there, the orchard. Next it says, Fletcher something up the hill to share the news snow was on the way. So the key word that I'm looking for is something that he's going to do up the hill. So we're going to go and see. We're going to scan for those words. And let's see here. Here it says he tumbled happily down the hill into the orchard, but when he picked himself up from the ground, he couldn't believe his eyes. So we did that part. Soft breeze danced through the branches, carrying snowflakes. Snow so late in spring, thought Fletcher. It will be too cold for the buds and butterflies. There's no time to lose. So I haven't found that word yet. But let's keep reading and see. Looking for someone to tell, he trotted back up the hill, and that is what I was looking for. So I can say no, he didn't tumble, because that doesn't make sense anyway. He didn't snuggle, he trotted up the hill. Right here, trotted up the hill. And when cold times come, the squirrels eat their winter something of nuts. So we're going to go back, and the key word I'm thinking about is the word squirrels. And here he sees the bird, so I know that's not it. Here he sees porcupine, but porcupine was the one who told him about squirrel. So, oh, and look at that. So here it says, but first we must tell squirrel that he needs to hunt for food. He's eaten his winter store of nuts. So we're going to cross off the word jar, because we know that's not it. And we're going to cross off box, because we know that's not it. And we're going to write in the word store. Rabbits love, let's look for the word. The key word we're going to be thinking about is the word rabbit. And so he continues to go. There's squirrel. Oh, and they're headed to find rabbit. And the word rabbit jumps out right here. And it says to munch as much grass as they can before the snow falls. So we're going to go back. And we're going to cross off. They're not bouncing fresh grass. They're not chirping. They are munching. And the last one is the trees look very beautiful, covered in the snow white. So we're going to go back to the word trees. That's at the end, I remember. And let's see if I went too far. Birds, let's see, all the way to the orchard where the ground was white with blossoms bobbing in the branches, blossoms blowing in the breeze, blossoms blanketing the ground, and not a snowflake to be found. Those were blossoms, not snow, you foolish fox, the animals cried. Fletcher blinked and rubbed his eyes. But then the animals scooped up paws and claws full of blossoms from the ground and covered him in their tickly shower of fluttering white petals. So here we can say, yep, we proved it is petals. It's not snowflakes and it's not nuts. All right? So when you're reading a story, you have to, or you can, it helps if you can go back and prove those answers right in the text. All right, and so we did that last job. And thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed going back a little bit deeper and finding more details about our Fletcher and the Springtime Blossoms book. All right, have a good one. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks. Bye.